Hey, welcome back. Okay, so let's go to First Fires, I think is where we need to go for the. Yeah. And when we get there, we're going to get told that construction is complete. And I will resist the urge to go and see it. I have not found a way to break the economy yet, so I can't just buy my way through through through. Well, I am buying my way through getting the fortress done, but that's it takes a lot of time to get the gold. And I need to address the. Oh, look, the trading grounds is complete. I also need to assign. There we go. Thank you. Um, I also need to look into what do you call it? Hmm. Hmm. I can get three more. Hmm. Mercenary Mind Striker, Gold Pack Knight, Valiant Shock Mage, Skirmish Archer. We'll hire a Skirmish Archer. Rutai Linebreaker, Mercenary Mind Striker, more prestige, Blooded Thug, Wordless Disciple, Vagabond Scald. Get the Mind Striker. Okay. I can get one more. This is going to bring me up to 350. We'll get the Ruatai. Okay. Okay. Need to be careful. Artificer's Hall, Curio Shop, Craft Hall. Hmm. We'll do that. There we go. Okay, where are the Crucible Knights? Valiant Embassy, Ducal Palace, Heritage Hill, Temple Wadeka, Crucible Keep. I imagine that's where the Crucible Knights are. I get that hint. Here they come in single file
Yes.
to hide their numbers.
Certainly.
Okay. So I want to get the dozens and the Knight's Crucible, possibly. Maybe start with the Knight's Crucible, depending on how annoying they are. The dozens are already annoying me because they annoy two of the people in my party. But yeah.
Hail, traveler.
What business brings you to the keep? Every day we get more from the hinterlands pouring into Defiance Bay. It keeps us busy on the watch. It does. You look like you recently arrived yourself. What goes on in Crucible Keep? This is the headquarters of the Crucible Knights, so it's where we store arms and armor as well as where many of our soldiers bunk. Let's see. Commander Cliver's in the back, making plans as usual. You'll find the forge at the west end of the building, along with our master smith Dunstan. There's also a shrine to the golem if you're the praying type. Looking for something? Who are you? Soldier of the Crucible Keep. I'm proud of it. I help keep everything running at the keep so Commander Cliver can focus on more important matters. Tell me about the knights. We're the Defenders of Defiance Bay. We're not exactly a formal knighthood, but don't tell Commander Cliver I said that. We were the first organized militia to oppose a Darren rule, and today we're the largest force in the city. Our soldiers undergo years of combat training. Our officers are required to have their souls read by out critter out in Dunreed Row. What's this about Dunreed Row? Just a requirement of the Crucible's Knights, so the higher-ups know there's nothing messy built in your soul's past. Keeping the ranks pure is fine by me. I just wish they were more careful in hiring their ciphers. What's wrong with their ciphers? Okay. They're mostly Orlans. I'm sure they're talented enough, but you just can't trust them. Hostility is in their nature, and they've learned to hide it over the years. All I'm saying is they should at least be supervised by other folk. That is reasonable enough, isn't it? If people treated them better, you wouldn't have to worry about them being so hostile. I'm just speaking the truth. Nowadays it seems that's the biggest crime of all. That's all. Yeah, the Crucible Knights are starting to annoy me. Just this year. Oh. Oh, that can't be supplies. Okay. Can't hold more anyway. Oh, I could do that, but, Dunstan. What's this? Tongs, hardies, hammers, fullers, and punch tools hang from the wall. They feel heavy and sturdy, but their flame-darkened surfaces testify to frequent use.
If this is about the breastplates, I already told Cleaver they won't be repaired till next week.
I found several fragments of an ancient sword. Do you think you could repair it? That's a fine blade indeed. Looks a Darren, special made. Must have been a commission for a champion of some sort. Sword of this caliber would have had a specially designed hilt too. Be a shame to graft anything else onto it. Besides, it'll balance best with all the original pieces. You find the rest of it, I'll forge it for you. That is interesting. What do you do here?
I'm a forge master. I'm a master smith for the Crucible Knights. But the way I see it, I'm also keeping up with our old traditions. The first members of our order were smiths. Nowadays, most everyone's a professional soldier. I suppose it's to be expected, but I think it's important we keep up with our roots, too.
Tell me about the knights.
We were all smiths back in Hodred's day, though I'm about the only one here who still gets his hands dirty. We're a fearsome fighting force, though these days I think Cleaver takes more pride in our parade formations.
Interesting. He thinks himself a progressive man, but he's obsessed with soul lineages and connections to Direwood's heroes of old. Other than Dunreed Rowe, who really knows about any of that, though? Goodbye. You are a novitiate. You have no name. You probably don't have any information for them. There's something there. Pinhelm. Blades are razor sharp.
How do you do?
Tell me about the Knights of the Crucible. We're the primary defenders of Defiance Bay. The Order's founders were the first to rally for Deerwood and independence. Of course, that's ancient history now. Now we're the most prestigious company of soldiers in the Direwood. It's a glorious line of work, if you can forget about the barracks, that is. How does one become a knight? You don't just take anyone. Our members share soul legacies with the very great men and women who defended this land a century and a half ago. Anyhow, Commander Cliver is responsible for initiations, but he rarely accepts foreigners. Farewell. I don't want to bring up Osric just yet. Archives. This might be where I want to be. This record of active patrols and reported crimes and Andra's gifts. The latter far outnumber the former. Okay.
A simple test.
Apparently so.
That's settled.
Plate armor, crested hat. That's not what I want. Blacksmith Knights, short history of the Knights of the Crucible. That's not what I want. Pinhelm's Affidavit. Curran, a cipher duly appointed and employed by Dunreed Rowe, does hereby certify that Novitiate A.M. Pinhelm has been found to have a soul free of any subversive influences or tainted essence. The scroll is stamped with Dunreed Rowe and signed by both Pinhelm and Kern. Okay. And no. Reach knife is signed. Oh, yeah. He's the guy I let go. Okay. Where is Dunreed Rowe? Training room. Wyla. This is about patrols. My novitiates already stretched their limit. Between the refugee influx and the mess at Heritage Hill, I simply don't have any units to spare. Sorry, was there something else you need? Was there something wrong at Heritage Hill? What isn't wrong is the real question. A whole district of walking, flesh-eating corpses. We sealed the area 2 months ago, just after I lost one of my finest commanders there. And yet this is the second guard rotation to disappear. There are already enough rumors about the place floating around the keep without my soldiers whispering about these disappearances. I'd just as soon abandon the district, but those monsters should find a way out. I could look into it. After what I've just told you, you want to go to Heritage Hill? I've lost trained soldiers there. Why should I let anyone in? People are disappearing. Someone's got to figure out what's happening to them. You're so eager to rush your death, I won't stop you. And if you're somehow able to put a stop to this, you've got my permission to enter Heritage Hill. I'll send word to the guards at the gate. Tell me about Heritage Hill. It used to be one of the most prestigious districts in Defiance Bay, but a few months ago the residents all went mad, started eating each other and anything else that had the bad luck to wander into the district. I've never seen anything like it. Now every novitiate that stands guard there, every one that comes back anyway, talks of the stench of the grave and the groans of unspeakable horrors. The why and the how are questions for the animancers. I've sealed the district in the hopes of containing whatever happened there. It seems to be working for now. What do you do here? In charge of the keep's novitiates. I'm responsible for their training and patrol assignments. They're good soldiers, and they've been quick to adapt to new challenges. Farewell. Okay, missing sentries. Is there anything else in here that's of interest? What's this? Daily affirmations of focus and efficiency. This is a symbol of Abaddon. Ha! A colossal smithing hammer imposed over circular gear. It's smooth and bright with buffing oils. Interesting. Oh, I thought it was a kind of a demon type thing. Apparently not. There is nothing here. I didn't get experience from finding this area. Painting shows a row of warriors standing atop the hills of Defiance Bay while Aedir's ships sail away.
We just don't have the manpower. Refugees from every corner of the Deerwood. The dozens getting them all riled up about animancy. At this rate, we'll need twice the soldiers to patrol Defiance Bay.
Why don't you have enough...
Can I help you with something?
He opens his mouth to say something to one of his men, but he follows the soldier's gaze over his shoulder to you. Why don't you have enough soldiers?
Fleetbreaker Castle. The High Justice has summoned almost half of my novitiates, and more of my justiciars to a keep on the other side of New Halemar. It's not for me to question the High Justice's orders, but it's left us short-handed. And mark me, we're just a couple sparks away from anarchy.
Is there any way I can help? I know how to handle myself. Always refreshing to meet someone who'd rather fix a problem than complain about it. Forge Master Dunstan is working with an animancy scholar to build what we're calling Forge Knights, warriors that can patrol our streets without suffering fatigue, disobedience, or fear. Some agitator throws a rock at him, we don't have to worry about things getting out of hand. He's constructed the armor, but we need the scholar's research. Unfortunately, she hasn't been around the last few times my novitiates have checked. Vayana lives with the rest of the Scriveners out in Copper Lane, but I haven't the soldiers spare at the moment. Go to the Scrivener's dormitory and see if you can't find her. When you get the research, just bring it to Dunstan. This is his area of expertise anyway. Once you brought him the research, he can sell you any arms and armor if you have need. He forges and repairs all of our equipment. You won't find a more capable smith in Defiance Bay. Was there something else? Tell me about the Knights of the Crucible. We're the only professional army in Defiance Bay, or in the Direwood for that matter. We defended the city in Hadrit's day. We've improved our training since then, but Dunride Rowe can certify that many of our officers come from good Direwood and fighting stock. Now we're responsible for patrolling the city and keeping the peace. With so many refugees pouring in from the countryside, that's become more important than ever. Unfortunately, that's earned us enemies, particularly among the dozens and some of the more enterprising families in Defiance Bay. They're demagogues. What do the dozens have against you? They're demagogues and troublemakers. They forget that Defiance Bay is one of the largest cities in the world and not some frontier outpost. Most of them are mercenaries on good days, street thugs the rest of the time. Needless to say, they've no patience for law and order. Tell me about these enterprising families. House Dominel, namely. They're one of the city's oldest noble families and its largest criminal organization. Their patriarch, Gedmar, has been trying to take advantage of the turmoil to expand his operations. We've kept on top of him, but he hasn't been too happy about that. You're in charge of the Crucible Knights? You're in Defiance Bay, anyhow. The High Justice is the leader of our order, but he's currently stationed at Fleetbreaker Castle. My job is to oversee our forces in Defiance Bay and keep order for the Duke. Goodbye. Okay. Okay, where is Dunreed Row? Painting shows a row of Defy warriors standing atop the hills. Oh, I already saw that. Is there anything else that is here that I haven't been to yet? The barracks. Okay. Hey, I can steal stuff. Probably not a good idea. Thick grime cakes the bottom of the tub. The towel hanging from the side gives off an awful stench. Okay. Where is Dunraid Row? Huh. It's probably not Inherited Chill, because that's apparently the zombie infestation. And yes, I said the zombie infestation, because this is the same company that did Neverwinter. Not the same company. BioWare did Neverwinter Nights. This company did Neverwinter Nights 2. But people from this company worked on Neverwinter Nights, and there was a zombie uprising in Neverwinter Nights 2 as well. And there was a entire district closed off until you could solve some murders. Not as bad as this, but then again, you go back to Neverwinter Nights and the Plague, and there was an entire district that was given. It was the poor district instead of the rich district, but there was indeed an entire district that had been given over to zombies. Temple of Wodeka. Ducal Palace. I should probably look at the Temple of Wodeka. Balian Embassy. Undra's Gift. I don't think we're going to need to go to Undra's Gift for Dunreed Row. I think it's probably going to be Copper Lane. How do I get in here?
Well, this would be our Church of Woodica. Dear Woods. Probably the first thing we burned during the Revolution.
Praise to the exiled queen. May her crown be restored and her justice prevail. Come to pay your respects to the queen that was.
Ghost hovers in the middle of the ruin, reciting blessings and prayers. Even as the spirit's form shifts and swirls, it retains the face of an elderly man that robes that mark wealth and status. It turns to you. Who are you?
Lord Ardwellen Rookfold III, and pleased to make your acquaintance. I came to the Deerwood on one of the first ships from Adia, and unlike the yokels and hut dwellers around here, I still keep to the old ways.
Well, that's not imposing at all. It's truly a pity to see what the locals have done to Wodeka's house of worship. I was told I'd find a temple of Wodeka here.
And so you did. These savage colonists may have burned it down, but worship of the Oathbinder is alive and well. These stairs lead to the main sanctum.
What stairs?
These stairs, of course. The sanctum was always below ground, adjacent to the catacombs, so it wasn't destroyed by the fires.
The ghost gestures to an impassable pile of rubble. We saw that before it switched to the cutscene. This isn't really a cutscene, the dialogue. Like the rest of the ruin, it seems to have remained untouched for over a century.
There are various entrances throughout Defiance Bay, but I dare say the easiest to reach is in Copper Lane. I haven't been to that part of town in ages, but as I recall, it's somewhere near the southern gate.
What are you doing?
Worshipping Woodica, the exiled queen and oathbinder. I come every day to offer my devotion. I'd love nothing more than to book passage back to Adia, but it is my emperor's wish that I serve in these barbaric lands. And so I do.
I'd like to know more about Wodeka.
A queen among the queens. She oversees laws and oaths. Everything has a rightful place, and Woodica watches over them all.
I actually have a theory about my character.
Of course,
Stop my timer.
not everyone accepts this. Even among the other gods, her authority is questioned. But Woodica is also goddess of memory and vengeance, and she remembers. She'll remember every slight and trespass when she reclaims her throne.
You know that you're a ghost, right?
I beg your pardon? Is this some sort of joke where you come from?
I'm serious. Just look at yourself.
A madhouse. That's what this town really needs.
Goodbye. Okay, find a way into the temple. But my timer was going to go off during the middle of that, but I didn't want it to during the dialogue. So I am going to go ahead and end this set. Well, first I'm going to... actually, I'll save after the video. I'll do a quick save right now. And move on to a different set of games. See you in a moment. Well, not really. See you later.